apyayantu mamangani vak pranaschakshuhu srotram atha balam indriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahma upanishadam mahang brahma nirakuryam mama brahma nirakarod anirakaranamastu anirakaranam meastu tadatmani nirateja upanishatsu dharmaha te mai shantu om shanti shanti shanti. Om. May all functions of our minds, the works of our bodies, and the activities of our senses please the Almighty Brahman, who is described in the Vedanta. May we not forget Him. May we realize His presence in our lives. May we not be forsaken by Him. May all divine qualities adorn our souls and bring peace to our minds. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So today, our topic is self-discovery, self-actualization, and self-realization. These three stages in the path of our spiritual illumination. Stage 1 is self-discovery, and next step will be how to, if I discover by intellectual knowledge, by first hearing, questioning, then next step will be how I can make it practical or make it possible to manifest in this very life, and then with that effort what the realization or experience will be ultimate. It can be said that first is the questioning, second will be the practice, and third will be the accomplishment. We live in our identity crisis. Every day we are living, and that's a question, what is me? Who am I? That is always the question. Because it's a very mysterious thing, how we identify about ourselves, how we think about ourselves. Who am I? Look at the condition of the people all over the globe. How each one is identifying with his or her concept about what he or she is, or I am, or you are. So this is a crisis because we do not know, is it me or is it me? Is that the reality or this the reality? Is it that I was thinking that I am such and such, and today I am thinking I am something else? That what is me then? So this is a very critical point to think about. We live in this type of confusion, and we move from trying to understand that what should be the real, and then that crisis is solved by finding a path and then following that path, rigorously following that spiritual disciplines or that philosophy, and then ultimately one day experience to come and to recognize ourselves in a different, unchanging identity. Because we are always in the changing identity. And every day what we are thinking of ourselves, it automatically changes into something else next day, next occasion. So, and we live in a miserable situation of our life, particularly when we are identifying with this changeable aspect of our personality. That means that we are always with this petty identity of my body. Normally, that is our fundamental identity. Who am I? Naturally, according to we will identify with the body. And then, as we identify with the body, then which body I am? The body of yesterday or a body of today, body which I had 10 years before, or the body which I had 50 years before, or when I was not born in the mother's womb, then what was the body? Where do we identify? And what is the end of this identification with the body, which is so hypnotic, as it were, to confuse our understanding? But we are trying to hold on. And holding on itself creates the pains and agonies and sufferings. And then it is endless and we cannot find any solution there. Actually, it is a very big problem for us when normally we always think that I am, but I do not know what part of me is I. And that is what is my self. That self is unchanging self. Is there anything? I don't find it. But this question even does not come. This question comes only to the matured people. That even in having a human birth, passing through these experiences of pleasure and pain, we never had the understanding about what I am, and this question to solve, somewhere to find the solution here. It's a good fortune when this question comes, am I this or am I that? And that's why the question comes that this limited me, and we are not satisfied with the limited me. Naturally, we search for something unlimited. And that's why Upanishad declared, Bhuma tu eva vijigyasasva. You ask question for the Bhuma, that which is limitless, that which is fathomless, that is unchanging, infinite. So, in being in this miserable condition of our body identity, we are always leading a life of fear and anxieties and worries and tensions. What will happen? What will happen? As we are becoming aged, we are all, those who are little more than youth, so-called. So we are in crisis. What is going to happen tomorrow? Today health is going on like that. What will happen tomorrow? So this problem continues and it bothers us. But we have the power to free ourselves. We have heard that it can be if we identify with our divine entity, that spiritual identity of spiritual personality. We have a spiritual personality. We have a divine personality that is called God, that is called Brahman. So it is a great task before us to discover our own self, capital, from the mess of this miserable body concept, and of course further subtler level mind concept, intellect, identity about our ego sense. So these are the different levels we are caught into trap. One you overcome, another blockage comes. Another blockage you remove, another blockage comes. So this is a very complex condition of our identity. So the first task is to first to know actually, is there any something which is me, which part of this me, which mind is me we are talking about? The mind of a 5 years boy or girl, that mind is your mind? Or your understanding about the world, what you had thought about yourself when you are a young person, or even 10 years before, or your 5 years before? Which part of that personality, whether in the body level, or in the mental, emotional level, or in the intellectual level, or even our concept of what I, very subtle egotistic level, everywhere we are confused. And we never, some people, it is Ramakrishna said, we never question, we are very happy with this. With this crisis we are running our life every day and we are very happy. Ramakrishna said, they given the example, that condition of the bound jiva, baddha jiva. What baddha jiva? Baddha jiva is, people are happy. Some people say, what's the need of God? What's the need of this question? I'm eating, sleeping well, and I can face the challenges of life. And if something happens, I go to doctor. If anything happens, I do this and do that and that. What is the need of God? This is a more problematic area. So this question to come itself is the first discovery of this self. This quest at all come to the mind is a blessed opportunity. That's why Shankaracharya gave so much emphasis on the having a human birth. Jantunang narajanma durlava. Jantu means all animals. Among the jantus, animals, this human birth is a great jump into the running towards the truth. So this is very rare. And being in this, Ramakrishna gave the example that when the fisherman cast the net, giving the example of the fish, some fish feel very comfortable. The net is over his body and he's trapped inside. He says, I am very safe. And rushes towards the mud at the bottom of the lake, the pond or whatever, tank. And he's safe. But didn't understand. The fisherman gives the time, the rope, let go first and just sink in the mud. And there are some who, before the net falls, they sense it and jump out. Ramakrishna said they are the liberated soul, they are the self-realized souls, the third stage. And there are some people, some fish who has just could not understand by the time net is just sinking and then try to get out. That is they are trying to find self-discovery. Oh, this is a net. It is trying to kill me and this is not my home. So to that first question is that is a development when we try to question, to discover ourselves, who we are. Second task before us is to practice certain disciplines and to reach the goal of actualizing this dual task of identifying with the self and disidentification with that which is non-self. So, first question is that the what I am and what is my real self. To discover. Discover means it is not that we are bringing from somewhere else, it is here. Only we are not aware to find out because we are miserable. Why this search? The search comes because we are miserable. We are not satisfied. We are in pain. We are not, whatever we achieve, we are feel still yet to get something more. So the first task will be then, no, if that is not me, what is me then? And then we go. Then we try to find out. So dukkha, the suffering which you get it in this life, that actually is a good friend to some of the people because it gives a total perspective of life. Not that we need that anyone should suffer, but without that no one learns. So the dukkha trayo abhighata jigyasa. The first stage comes when one is very happy, as I said. There is no question of his thinking about what the self, how to get it, where to go back. These questions don't arise at all. It is in the net. That fish, as Ramakrishna said, fish is just very happy and being pushed his body into the net and the mud, and he is very happy. But soon the fish understands when the fisherman pulls the rope, then he is caught into the trap and he is out of water and he is going to die. So this panting situation, one must have to come to this panting situation to first understand, to discover what is me. When trouble comes, we put this question, why me? Why this suffering? When these atrocities and all these disturbing things go around the world, we question, what is going on? Why is this? Unless the why starts, no spiritual journey. Those who are say, I am contented, I am very happy what is going on, not sattiko type of contentment, don't mix up those, I am not talking about that. But the very beginning stage who think that I am very happy, being in the miserable condition of birth and death, every day at a time clicking, it is just our life is shortening. But we are thinking that we are happy and I can survive very happily. So it is the miserable condition. So first condition will be to the self-discovering, and it comes as scripture suggests, the dukkhatraya ubhigatat jigyasa. This questioning comes only when the external nature and internal nature creates so much trouble for us. The pains and agonies of life becomes unbearable. Then this question comes, what is going on? Who am I? Why I am here? Is there anything beyond? Is there any connection with the divine? Is there any master planning or planner behind? So these questions come. So this dukkha, trayo means three types of dukkha, as you all know. One is called, which I create by my own action, and I did something wrong, or I was inadvertent and I fell down, I broke my arms, or I am putting my finger while cooking and get burned. So whatever, you cannot blame anyone. So I go through that suffering. But why I am suffering? So many people are cooking. Why I am suffering? So that question will come. Why this suffering comes to me? Let everyone suffer. I don't care. But why it is coming to me? And then comes the question, why come this? Because there's something is going on. Is there karma? Is there any man sitting somewhere controlling and putting punishment to me? And I'm a good guy and this God is so bad. If you believe God, then you say start accusing, abusing, whatever way. But this question starts. That's a discovery, self-discovery started there. So suppose my own action, I created and I am suffering, or I didn't do anything, but somebody suddenly jumps upon me and makes my life hell. Or no one has done anything, but by nature, say calamity of the nature, say disaster of the nature, say earthquake, fire, flood, so tsunami, this creating trouble. So these three types of, any type of these, under this category of three, when it comes in life, then the questioning starts. And that questioning is the beginning of searching for the identity. Am I to die under this condition? This external situation will kill me? Or this disaster will destroy me? So I don't want to die. So here comes the question. Then there is one part of me is saying, no, I can't die. This suffering is there, but it should not kill me. How I can find out then what in me can survive even under this context, situation. So there comes this discovery. So let us look at our present condition. And Swamiji's words, we are hypnotized. And we lead always a life. We don't live life. We live a life of fear. We live a life of anxiety, always in pain. We live our every moment in worries. What is going to happen in future? What has happened in the past? We are always being crushed under these severe conditions of the experiences past and expectation of future bad things to come. Disease, of course, death, bereavement, and all these, plus bond slave of our body-mind. Anyone prays, you become high. Anyone just says some simple few words, bad, you are gone. Anger, frustration, ego, giving. If you can give a punch, people don't care for that. Even so, this is a unbalanced situation of ourselves, and this is the situation we live very happily. And any fool can disturb my balance, my peace in any split second. My joy can be snatched away by simply some word can take away. So this is the condition. Swami Vivekananda, in the poem, beautiful poem, My Play is Done, you have read it maybe. There he says, let me read a few lines from that. This is the questioning starts here. He says, ever rising, ever falling, with the waves of time, still I roll on, rolling on I go, from fleeting scene to scene ephemeral, with life's currents ebb and flow. Then comes the question, oh, I am sick of this unending force. These show they please no more. This ever running, never reaching, not even a distant gleams of shore. So here comes the questioning, that this life, we are passing through fleeting sin, one sin to the other sin, and life's current ebb and flow, it is up and down, and when we feel sick of it, we are tired of it. I am sick of this unending force. Those shows, they please me no more. But those who have not yet come to that point, there is no question of coming to inquire about the self. And then he says, then he continues that, yes, I am going through this condition, life after life. And he says, from life to life I am waiting. At the gates, alas, they open not. So I am trying to find out, to discover what I am. But I am failing here. Dim are my eyes, with a vain attempt to catch one ray long sought. What is that light? Where is the light? And I am searching for that. One little life's high narrow bridge I stand, and see below the struggling, crying, laughing throng. For what? No one knows. He says that I am looking at the whole humanity, all people around me. They are crying, weeping. What for? What is the purpose? Why is this going on? So I am waiting to know the truth. So this is the first stage of our journey, that with this questioning, when it comes, then comes the second stage, how to actualize it. There it comes, when this questioning comes, then comes the grace of Guru, Shastra, Scripture, and Bhaktajan, Vaishnava. Guru, Krishna, Vaishnava. That means a teacher comes in life, or you run for searching to some person who is adept in this life, who got peace, who are in joy, who are in very peaceful mood, then we go and approach them. Guru. Then we search for going to temple and churches and there. Why? Then we listen to some scripture, the experiences of the sages, Shastra. And then we try to find how the other people are trying to find this, discover their own entity and are reaching that peaceful state. How they are going. So we try to follow them up. That is, Patanjali has mentioned it differently, but main point is this, here comes the restlessness. Who is not, restlessness is the cause to jump into the second, that first of all I am in difficulty and I have to get out. And how I can make it. So that's why the grace of Guru Kripa and Vaishnava Kripa and Shastra Kripa comes. And then Patanjali says that in Yoga Sutra he said that we are tormented by the world. Why I am tormented by the world? Because there are several obstacles in the that is barring myself to know what is my real self. And those obstacles can be removed. And first of all, what's the obstacles? He has formulated 5 obstacles. Avidya, ignorance, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. Avidya is what? Avidya is these are all pain bearing. This creates pain, tremendous pain. And it disassociates from our peaceful divine self, which is within all the time. It is not only the obstacle, it also pain, it bears pain, and it makes me forget. Makes me forget what? That I am somebody who can be in eternal peace, ananda. And then that this individuality which I am going through, it is only a temporary, it is a phase of my temporary life, but there is some eternal entity behind. So this pain-bearing obstacles, that is called, there are 5, and out of them this Guru Kripa here, Shastra Kripa, the scripture is suggesting, yes, this is because of the ignorance, and ignorance creating the future problem of ego, and ego is bringing attachment, clinging to thing, and clinging some, I don't cling, but I hate. That's also another type of clinging. And we cling on to the life. So, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. These are the 5 Patanjali's suggestion, that these are the obstacles. It is you have to identify the disease and then apply the medicine. In our life, where is the problem? Problem is that because we are ignorant. Avidya. Why you are ignorant? Because we do not know the self. There is eternal self. There is that self which cannot be touched by any misery or suffering. That it has made me forgotten. That's why it's called the klesha. And this, everyone of us are tormented by these 5 types of suffering. And it is creating suffering and making us forget all the peaceful divine self which is within. So, Swami Vivekananda says these 5 pains, this is a 5-fold tie that binds us down, of which the ignorance is the cause. First of all, I do not know. That was my major problem. And the other 4 comes one consequentially. And ignorance is the only cause of all our suffering and misery. What else can make us miserable? The nature of the soul, the divine soul, is eternal bliss. What can make it sorrowful except ignorance, hallucination, delusion? This is Swamiji's words. So, this avidya, that's why in the Yoga aphorism, Patanjali says, avidya kshetram uttaresham is the productive field of the next things to follow. What are those? Maybe these are the other 4. Asmita, ego, our attachment to thing. We love something and we hold on to keep it under my clutches. I don't want to let go any time. It pains me, it hurts me, it gives every very death experience even, but we like to hold on and cling on to that. And that is called the cause of suffering. And I hate something, hate such a way that any time I create my own pain because of my hatred. So these are the 2 major which follows because of the ignorance. Because ignorance is there, that's why I do not know that the self is here, and when I discover the self, I see that self is everywhere. Because I don't know that, therefore I am clinging to something else in the external, and when I try to catch hold in the external, naturally, if I am attached to one, I hate the other one. You cannot love everything equally. Everything equally only when you discover your own self. You are established in your own knowledge of the truth. But before that, if you want that I love this, you hate the other thing. It is a natural consequence. Therefore, this is also pain, that is also pain. Because hating something is a pain. And getting attached to the mundane thing which is not permanent, it is itself a cause of suffering. Because you look at the life of our life, what we loved once with all our heart and soul, time comes, when we feel the greatest blow from that side and we cry and weep for that. So what becomes the one time the source of joy? The other time that same thing becomes as if it comes back as suffering and pain. So this is the crisis of life. And that is happening because we do not know who we are, avidya. And as a result, my ego not identifying with me, the real me, it is just identifying with the objects of the outside, which is every day frittering, changing. That's a common word we always use. Oh, you have changed so much. Huh? What are you talking? You have changed so much. I didn't know that you are like this. You have changed yourself. Everyone is changing every moment. How can there be no change in the world of changes? Only in the transcendental reality there is no change. In God there is no change. So, these 5 obstacles, that hate or clingingness to objects, aversion, hatred, and another important point, clinging to life. We want not to die, but not recognizing that we are dying every second. Where is our youth? Where is our beautiful childhood days when we have no responsibilities and duties, only to go to school and play some games and then watch video? They think we are very happy. The children think that we are most happy, and we think they are the most happy people. So this is a reciprocating idea, but it is all, no one is happy. So here, the clinging on, we want to hold on to life, but we do not know what is the real life, that is the self. We don't hold on there, but we are holding on to my beauty. See? To holding on to beauty. How can you hold on to beauty? What is beauty today? The tomorrow's beauty is different beauty. A wrinkle is a beauty. Not that only when you are very young, that is beauty. Wrinkle is also beauty, but accept it. But who takes that? We want to hold on to our youthful beauty, but not accepting the other side. So this is the suffering, and this ignorance is the productive field of all these that follow, whether they are dormant, this feeling may be dormant, or it is little lessened, or it is overpowered or expanded. Actually, this ignorance is the cause which does not allow us to see that truth face to face. That is the problem. There is a song, Emni moha mayar maya, rekheche ki kuhok kore. Emni moha mayar maya, rekheche ki kuhok kore. Brahma Vishnu অচৈতন্য জীবে কি তাই জানতে পারে. It's a Ram Prasad song. It says, Emni Mahamaya, Ramakrishna used to sing this song. Such is the wonderful charm of the divine Maya or Mahamaya, great mother, that she has kept everyone under the spell of ignorance. And even what the question of ordinary human being like us, Brahma the creator, Vishnu who maintains the whole cosmos, and they are also ignorantly in the bliss of ignorance. They are so. What the condition of ordinary people that they will know the truth? So we need to discover ourselves from this mire of ignorance. We need to understand 2 things. We are miserable. We are the slave of the world. We are in pain. And we, the divine essence, we have in us 2 things. First, one negation, another positive impact. That we are miserable. If it is not comes to the mind of the person, why shall I go? I am happy here. Why shall I go there? Always there is a gentleman who comes into the Gita class, used to come. He will put this question. Why are you talking about this suffering and pain and this, and I'm happy? I say, okay, if you are happy all the time, there is no problem for you. He could not understand why I am talking about pain. Say Buddha. Dukkha, what is? He always talks with dukkha, dukkha, dukkha. Huh? But why dukkha? But I have my home, I have my car, I have my money, I have my friends and relatives, everything is happy. So why are you talking about dukkha? So that is one way. I do not know how much is the real internal satisfaction, or we are thinking, relying on the momentary thing which is around. They may be, they may not be, who knows? But we cannot trust on them. In the Katha Upanishad has mentioned that plava hi ete adrirad. This is you are trying to swim the ocean, and you have some what you call float, and that float is so feeble that you are trying to hold it. As soon as you hold it, you also sink and it also sinks. So you cannot trust on that, but you can trust on that a big ship, and that is the real self, unchanging self. So that is to be understood. What to understand? That you have to understand according to Patanjali, that anitya, ashuchi, dukkhanatmasu, nitya, shuchi, sukha, atmakhyati, avidya. This ignorance we have to get out of it. What the definition of ignorance? Patanjali says, anitya, which is not eternal. We are thinking it is eternal. One, which is not so pure. We are thinking that it is pure. Which is not joy or peace, blissful. We think that it is blissful, and what is painful, I take it to be the opposite of it. And that understanding, this wrong understanding is called the ignorance. And that ignorance is coming because of this ignorance. I am identifying with these objects, and then I am being happy, unhappy according to that. So flowing through its own nature and established even in the learned, this is the clinging of life. You see, even the educated people to the most ordinary people, this clinging to holding to life is very, very strong, because we think we'll lose. If this body goes, what will remain with me? That's why we need the self-discovery. The clinging to life is seen to manifest in even the animals. That's why that in impression, many lives, Hindu believes that many lives we had, and Buddhism believe that we have many past. So because of many times we died, so that fear and death experience is gone into the bone. You can say that we call the sanskara, deep impression in the mind. That's why everyone is afraid to die. And that is the cause of great suffering. We die only one time in life, but we die 1,000 times in our life, because every day we are thinking, probably I am going to die. If it happens, what will happen to me? I want to hold on. That's the clingingness to life. And that clingingness to life is eternal source of misery. People steeped in ignorance, as we are, do not discover this truth. Being battered by the three types of suffering, this when questioning comes, and then comes God's grace, we come to know from the holy people, the scriptures, and we discover, as it were, that there is a state beyond suffering, and that can be made actual or real by following spiritual disciplines. Then comes the discipline. What to do the discipline? Discipline is this: analyze. Discover first that how to actualize it. We first discovered it, that this is the situation, ignorance, my ego, my identification, and my clinging. These are the cause of my suffering. So I want to get out of that, and then if I can find out who am I, then if these obstacles are gone, so you have to put some medicine for these problems. And then Patanjali suggests that the path of perfection is this, that you are to think. At the path of yoga, it will say that your mind is so much rippled, and it is identifying with this and that. Make the mind pure by yoga practice, yoga, and then calm down the mind. Don't be so much restless with whatever is coming and going every day. It is not permanent, it is not eternal. So, yoga, you can come and then you see drashtu, you are the witness, you will be able to stay in your own self. Drashtu, tada, at that point, if you can calm down the ripples and rambling of your mind, or with this type of negative thinking, of this fear, of this suffering, and always being tensed, not to know how to surrender, how to give ourselves to the divine, and what a divine entity is there, what we have to worry about. We forget those things because mind does not allow. Therefore, treat your mind, and when your mind will be free from all these ripples and jumping and howling, then what will happen? Tada, at that point, drashtuhu, drashta, the eternal witness who is inside, the self, real self, sarupe avasthanam, it will be established in its own glory, because that truth will be revealed from within. And other time, as we are now, our mind is always identified with one thought or the other thought, which is always creating this pain and suffering. And this continuous struggle is to be made to identify that I am not these ripples of the mind, but I am that calm sea. When ripples free, then what is remaining inside, the light within, that is me. So to practice, that practice is the process of self-actualizing. And that is a long process. First to diagnose the defects and disease, and second is the sincere wish to come out of the problem. Really do we want to come out of the problem? Even if we understand, it is very difficult. I know that something is bad for my health, but to get out of that habit, our example is we love ice cream, we love some other food which is very good and tasteful to the tongue, but it is creating trouble for the health. And doctor has found out that problem with the blood test. And doctor say, hey, this is going on. What is your blood test? What did you do? Hey, we. That means we know it. We know the problem, but at least doctor is diagnosing. So first of all, the suffering. Suffering, you have going to that, we do not know. I am growing high cholesterol, all the other problems, it is growing inside. I am quite happy. See, first stage is that. In our health condition, all of us, we eat whatever we like and do, and then I am happy, I do not know. But you go to doctor and take a blood test, they said, this is not good, this is high, that is high, this is high. So now diagnose the medicine. Now doctor says, don't do this, don't do this, do that. So now next comes the question of how to practice. But in practice you will fail 1,000 times. Because my past impression is that I was happy. But blood sugar has come up. Doctor says, if you don't want to take medicine, stop now. But still, stealthily we go and have it. This is our life. Diagnose this way that this is not the place for eternal happiness and peace. And then still my mind goes, oh no, it is good. Clinging and attachment. And then again we do the mistake and they get a good blow. Blows after blows come in our life. How many blows we get in our life to be awakened into our divine consciousness. And then comes when we understand, really, I try to take food. No, I won't take it today. So even if your ice cream comes, rasgulla comes, and this sheer comes, and all these wonderful cookies come, people say that I don't eat much, I take only this much cookies. But that is much dangerous than that of taking other food, one doctor told me. Anyhow, but we camouflage ourselves, we don't know what is good. Even knowing good, we cannot. So now to do, actualize it. To go for this idea that ignorance is killing me. I don't want to be any more involved into that ignorance. I will practice. That's why Patanjali says it is practice is very important. Tatra sthito jatna abhyasa. To stay in that state of calmness and serenity. Abhyasa means repeated practice. Jatna, effort. Effort to be in that state of calmness and serenity. That is called the repetitive practice. And abhyasa, not only abhyasa, but another point Patanjali said, abhyasa vairagya. This is the tougher part. Abhyasa you do, and every day again the allurement comes, which knocks us out from our connection with the divine. Then you have to reject those things. Again the sweet meat will come on your table. It will be served. But you should have the courage to say, I know it is not good, I won't take it. That is called vairagya, detachment, or giving up. So these two should be simultaneously practiced. I am this, I am not this. So I will encourage the identification here, not there. And your meditation or all these different bhakti school will teach us one way, Jnana Yoga will teach us one way, or Yoga path as we are talking about, it teaches us different way. But the question is that we must have to have two fundamental things, whether you follow the path of bhakti, jnana, yoga or karma. The first of all, abhyasa, regularly practice. Second point is that detachment, which is not good for me, I will have to shun it and have the courage to do that. I may fail 100 times, but strong. And so that's why practice should be done. People may say, how long to practice? Our Patanjali suggested that it is satu dirgha kala. This practice of renunciation and what you call this detachment is to be practiced for dirgha kala, for a long time. And how long? Long means, okay, I am initiated 50 years. But 50 years, how many years you did it for God? That question, if it is asked, then we will find that, okay, I sat in the morning, half an hour, maybe 10 minutes, and within that 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 59 seconds, I was rotating in some other thought, and then I add 1 second there, 1 second there, 2 seconds there. In the whole life of 50 years, we find that how much we have thought about God. Not that. It is a dirgha kala. You have to practice continuously, and emphasis is nirantara, jena, incessant, like you pour oil from one pot to the other, as it continuous flow. There is no gap between the two drops. Here drop is the thought of the divine, who I am, if it's a Vedanta, self. I am that, infinite. One thought, another thought, I am that, another thought, I am that, another thought, I am that. It will continuous flow. Dirgha kala nairantarja. And you are doing grudgingly. Oh, my Guru has said, I have to do. If I don't do, I will incur sin. There are many people have different concept. And it is not to please your Guru or not to have sin. Sin is coming that way because you are not doing and you are suffering. That is the sin. So it is dirgha kala nairantarjena. And satkara sevita. With utmost love and attention, affection, this practice is to be continued. In Bhakti path, you love God, think of God, pray to God, cry for God, weep for God. Everything, every action offered to God. It is a continuous process that should be meant. And if it is done, then what will happen? Self-realization, siddhi. Culmination is siddhi. And that param, that tat param, that supreme state will come when you can purusha khyati, you know what is your union nature, the conscious entity, as a result of total detachment from guna, all these three worlds of three gunas, whatever is there. And when it happens, that is the extreme non-attachment, then comes gives us the guna, and comes from the knowledge of the real nature of us, we call Purusha. And the knowledge in that is called filled with truth. When we reach that state, our inner personality becomes saturated with the truth and truth and truth only. They speak the truth, they see the truth, they talk about the truth, they wander around, there is nothing but the truth and truth and truth. Call it in the name of bhakti. It is Krishna, 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 Rama, 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 Christ, Christ, Christ. And or you say in the name of Brahman, Atman, 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 there is nothing but Atman. And when one is established in that state, that is the purpose of life fulfilled. It is self-realization. One has achieved that. So 3 stages we have talked about. 1, to diagnose the problem. Next, to put the medicine and actualize it. How much hassle may come, how many days it may take, whatever price you have to pay for that, to be ready for that, and continuously doing that, and ultimately is moment the spirituality will be dawned. I will quote a few lines, what will happen when that realization. We all will be happy to read that, but to reach that level will be much more enjoyable. What Swami Vivekananda says, that I was searching for God. First point, questioning came and he found out that he will have to find the truth. And then Swami Vivekananda is giving this example. He says that over hill and dell and mountain range, in temple, church and mosque, in Vedas, Bible, Al-Quran, I had searched for thee in vain. Like a child in the wildest forest lost, I have cried and cried alone. Where art thou gone, my God, my love? The echo answered, gone. So this is a greater state. Not that I do not know anything. I know I am in suffering. I want to get out. This is the practicing period. And then Henry says, how sincere should be the practice? This is a guideline to that. Swami Vivekananda gives this in the poem, that and days and nights and years then passed. A fire was in the brain. I knew not when day changed in night. The heart seemed rent in twain. I laid me down on the shore of Ganga, exposed to sun and rain. With burning tears I laid the dust, and welled with waters roared. I called on all the holy names of every clime and creed. Show me the way in mercy, ye great ones who have reached the goal. So this is the search. We need to have this second part, self-analysis. Point is that you have to find the self-actualizing. How to actualize it? This burning, sincere effort. But Swami Vivekananda is just giving in through this beautiful expression. Years then passed. In bitter cry. That is the period. You may think that I am doing practice. Nothing is happening. I am searching seriously. Not that point. Swami Vivekananda says, years then passed. It will go on like that. In bitter cry. Each moment seemed an age. Till one day, amidst my cries and groans, someone seemed calling me. That is the awakening coming, self-realization coming. Sincere effort, day and night effort, understanding, not to attach to the fleeting things, but to love the divine which is in everywhere, and to see that manifestation of that inside. With that effort, continuing, and ultimately a good moment, blessed moment comes, and Swamiji says, a gentle, soft and soothing voice that said, my son, that seemed to thrill in unison with all the chords of my soul. That one touch of that joy, one call which comes from within, the divine self which comes out, and that thrills the whole body. And iti pratibodha viditam. In every sense, in every cell she will be rejuvenated with that blissful state. And then he said, from that day forth, wherever I roam, I feel him standing by, over hill and dell, high mountain and vale, far, far and in high. So now the self is realized and the self is everywhere. So the moon's soft light, the stars so bright, the glorious orb of the day, he shines in them, that self that shines in everywhere. His beauty, might, reflected lights are they, the majestic morning, the melting evening, the boundless billowy sea. In nature's beauty, songs of the birds, I see through them, it is he, it is he. So that is the state of experience. That is but we are not to think of that. It is better to read. It gives us spirit to encourage. Yesterday, our one Swami, who is here sitting, came from Mathura and was giving a wonderful description of a devotee in holy Mathura, Barsala, which is the holy birthplace of Radharani. And that place, so one young lady, she got intoxicated and she became blind and not caring for her health, not for her shoes and clothing, tattered clothing, don't asking for food anywhere, and miserable condition. And the Swami was saying that girl is sitting like that, disabled hair, not much shower, no food, nothing, and the boys are throwing dust on her head and face, and she is laughing and saying, "Oh Krishna, you are playing like this." There is no question of anger, frustration. See, Krishna can be everywhere. That is the point, self-realization. Through the process of self-discovery, she was not contented in her home, with her family, with her money, with her wealth, comes from a dignified family, and let a woman in the street, what to sleep, what to eat, do not know anything, and that self-actualizing, try to do that, and see the net result. Outwardly, she is the poorest lady. Inwardly, she is the queen of the universe, because she sees nothing but Krishna everywhere. So that is the process. It is happening, it will happen, and it happened before, it is happening, it will happen in future. So let us pray for this. Thank you. Om sarvastaratu durgani sarvau bhadrani pashyatu sarvas sadbuddhimapnotu sarvas sarvatra nandatu. Om shanti shanti shantihi. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by the noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. Om peace, peace, peace.